نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. وقال الله تبارك وتعالى في مقام آخر إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الأمين المختار الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. इंतहाई मोहतरम मुकर्रम मेरे बुज़ुर्ग और नौजवान साथियों, इज़्ज़त माब मेरी माओ और बहनों, आइए हम सब मिलकर आक़ाए नामदार, हम सब के ताजदार हुज़ूर ख़ातमुल मुरसलीन रहमतुल लिल आलमीन सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की मुक़द्दस बारगाह में मिलकर दुरूद पाक का हदिया पेश करें और पढ़ें। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना व हबीबिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन मअदिनिल जूदि वल करम व आलिहि व सहबिहि व बारिक व सल्लिम। Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He blessed us with the treasure, and the treasure which is matchless, we call it Iman, the faith. And to keep us on the right path and to guide us towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sent His beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. With sending His Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, He also sent a guidance. A guidance in the form of a book that we know as the Holy Qur'an. Now, Qur'an Pak we regard as the final message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this message is such that until the day of Qiyamah there is no other book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that will come and replace it. Qur'an is the final one. You have to understand then, Rasul Akram alayhi salatu wasalam, he came in this dunya approximately 1400 years ago. And then Qur'an Pak was revealed upon Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. The challenges, we'll talk about the challenges for Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam and the companion in regards to spreading the message of Qur'an. But you could imagine, it's been a long time, and yet the Qur'an that was revealed upon Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam is still the book of guidance, and still we as believers, we take that book as something that is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the words of Allah azza wa jal. And not only us, the interesting fact is, even when a person who is not Muslim, a person who is from any other faith or no faith, if they read the Holy Qur'an with the eyes of justice, they will find that guidance in the Holy Qur'an. And this is not, I am telling you, just as I've heard, I've seen it. We have seen in this masjid that people who are from different faith, they come to us and they say, I want to take Shahada. You ask them why. They say, I started reading Qur'an, and at some point I came to the conclusion that this is the right religion for me. Imagine, nobody taught them how to read Qur'an. They read the translation, merely translation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided them to the Islam. An example which a few months back, if I give you, a young man who came to study in UK from America. He used to come to our masjid regularly, almost every week, twice a week. He would sit with us, he would ask questions, and we would have long conversations. And he was highly educated person. He was master in IT. He could hack anything you tell him, and he will do it for you. And he was from America, from a house where they had no light of Islam. So he would come to us every day, twice a week, or every week, once a week. He would ask different questions, different aspects of Islam. And then he was reading the Qur'an, the translation. If he had any question, he would ask the question to us. Okay, then one day he came and he said, it'll probably take me approximately 2 months or so, and I will accept Islam, because my journey seems to be very close. Now he said 2 months, and one day he came before the end of 2 months, way before that. And he said to us, Maulana Shoaib is witness of that as well, that I want to accept Islam. I want to take the Shahada today. Now imagine the miracle of Qur'an. Imagine the power of the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I asked him a question. I said, you wanted to take your time, and you said it'll be approximately 2 months until I finish the translation. I should be by then taking the Shahada. So he said, Maulana, today I was sitting and I was reading Surah Yasin. Which surah? Surah Yasin. He said, whilst I was reading Surah Yasin, I started crying. I was sobbing. And by the end of it, I decided that I do not have to wait. I should accept Islam now. If you need his number, I can give you his number and you can speak to him. The Ayah Karima I have recited. Now, this is the effect of Qur'an on somebody who wasn't a Muslim at that time. Qur'an Pak says, yes, that the effect of Qur'an on the hearts of people, wajilat qulubuhum, their hearts, wajilat, they tremble in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you read the Qur'an, the effect goes directly on your heart. وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. When the ayat of Qur'an, they are recited, the iman, the faith that they have, it increases. And those who do not have the faith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses them with the dawlat and with the treasure of iman. The miracle of Qur'an, imagine, after almost 1500 years ago, Quran was revealed, and the miracle, even the effects you see till today. The reason why I'm talking about this blessed book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we have recently seen, everybody reads news, WhatsApp forwards, that people trying to burn the Holy Quran, right? What is our view on this? Yes, this act is an act of illness. Their hearts are ill, their minds are ill, and that is why they are doing such acts. But we also need to understand that the book they are burning, pages, the ink, what is our aqidah on that? Because we know, if you listen this carefully, you'll see the difference between a book and between the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we believe Quran is the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is also the sifat of Allah azza wa jal. One of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just like Ar-Rahman is an attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the words of Quran, they are also the attributes. And all the attributes and sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are qadim, mean everlasting. There is no end to it. They are not makhluk. We are makhluk. We are the creation. The sifat, the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are not makhluk. Yeah, they are qadim. We are hadis, they are qadim. We have an end. Allah and His sifat, they have no end. They are everlasting. However, if you think logically, the Qur'an that you have on pages in your memories, is this Qur'an the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Mean the ink and the pages and those material, physical material. So the scholars, they have mentioned that this is not the sifat of Allah, because page and those papers are made by human. The ink made by human. Typing or writing or doing the calligraphy is done by human. All of these are the act of human. Including when we recite the Qur'an, the sound that comes out, that's also produced by you and I. So everything which is produced by human is makhluk. Then the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the words which we pronounce. They have no sound, they have no color, they have no effect in terms of material. So if somebody somewhere is burning the book, right, they cannot harm Qur'an in any way or the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, they can hurt Muslims because it's a book which is sent to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam for us. We do feel the disrespect that anyone does anywhere around the world. We do feel it. But again, we believe بَلْ هُوَ قُرْآنٌ فِي لَوْحٍ مَحْفُوظٍ. But it is the Qur'an and it is preserved in Lawh Mahfuz. It is preserved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a tablet. It is preserved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hearts of millions of Muslims. It is preserved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the minds of thousands and billions of people around the world. So we need to understand the power of the Holy Qur'an. If you think about it, in the time of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, when the Qur'an was revealed, it was sent to Rasul Akram alayhi salatu wasalam. Today we are sitting in this beautiful masjid and we can read Qur'an, we can talk about the Holy Qur'an. Was this the case in the time of Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam? At the beginning, in Makkatul Mukarramah, when Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he started propagating the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, they did not even have a base, right? They did not have a place which was specific to get together and learn from the Holy Qur'an. What did Sahaba do then? Allahu Akbar. Sahaba, likes of Sayyidina Khabbab ibn al-Arat, likes of Sayyidina Musab ibn Umair radiyallahu ta'ala. These were the companions who used to visit people's houses. If somebody had become a Muslim, they would visit their house and they would teach the Holy Qur'an to them. Now, why I am saying this? Why I am talking about what used to happen in the time of Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam? Because what was the reason that only few people at that time who were believers, within few years, they became so powerful that the city they were chased out of, the city of Makkatul Mukarramah that they had to leave from and go to Medina, within few years Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sent them in Makkatul Mukarramah as a victorious people. The conquest of Makkah. Right? And the beginning of propagation was in such manner. Today, there is nothing hindering us from spreading the message of Qur'an. You want to learn about Qur'an? Masajid are open. You want to learn about Qur'an? You have YouTube and I don't know how many channels on social media that you'll find that people are teaching Qur'an, talking about Qur'an, propagating the message of Qur'an. But why so that today Muslims around the world are still oppressed? Compare the time of Prophet ﷺ. What did Sahaba do how did they treat the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and where do we stand in today's day and age? Sayyidina Khabbab radiyallahu ta'ala, the famous story of Sayyidina Khabbab, I mentioned few Jumas back, that how he bore all the tortures from the non-believers, and yet he was steadfast on the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat Khabbab, he is the one, when Hazrat Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when he found out his sister and his brother-in-law, they have accepted Islam. Hazrat Umar, he was angry. He went to visit the house of his sister Fatima. When he entered inside the house, who was in it? His brother-in-law and Hazrat Khabbab radiyallahu ta'ala. Why was Hazrat Khabbab there? In so much danger. He knew that this is the family of Umar, and Umar is the one who will not hesitate from killing anyone, who will not hesitate from ending your life if you come in his way. What was this element that Rasulullah ﷺ placed in the hearts of companion? Rasul Akram ﷺ, he placed the love of Qur'an in the hearts of Sahaba in such manner that they did not worry about their lives. Hazrat Khabbab radiyallahu ta'ala told Hazrat Umar that I was teaching them the Holy Qur'an. They were beaten up, but then eventually Hazrat Umar accepted Islam. Hazrat Umar, when he heard the ayat of Qur'an, he said, take me to Rasulullah ﷺ, and he accepted Islam. Likewise, Hazrat Sayyidina Mus'ab ibn Umair radiyallahu ta'ala. Now if you read about the life of Hazrat Mus'ab radiyallahu ta'ala, you'll be amazed and surprised that before Islam, Hazrat Mus'ab radiyallahu ta'ala, he used to wear the best garments, and it's been written about him that when he would go in the streets of Medina, people could smell him because of the fragrance he used to use. People would know that Mus'ab has passed from this street. But then when he accepted Islam, his family disowned him. His family said, you will not get a penny from us. You can live the way you want and be with Muhammad. अब ज़रा सोचें, एक बंदा जो ऐशो आराम की ज़िंदगी गुजार रहा था, हज़रत मुसअब इब्न उमैर का आलम ये था कि अपनी ज़िंदगी में महंगे कपड़े, अच्छी से अच्छी खुशबू, सारा उनके घर वाले उनके लिए प्रोवाइड करते थे. लेकिन फिर हज़रत मुसअब ने इस्लाम कबूल किया, सब बंद हो गया. उन्होंने ये कबूल किया कि अपने जिस्म के ऊपर फटे पुराने कपड़े पहनूंगा, लेकिन मोहम्मद अरबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को मैं नहीं छोड़ सकता. I do not mind losing all those privileges that I have, but I will not leave Islam. Now, Hazrat Mus'ab ibn Umair, he was sent by Rasulullah ﷺ to Madinatul Munawwara. Why was he sent? To teach the Holy Qur'an. Hazrat Mus'ab को हुजूर ने मदीना भेजा ताकि वो कुरान सिखाएं. Now, Hadith Pak says, خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ. Directly to Sahaba and indirectly to all of us. خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ. The best among you are the ones who learn and who teach the Holy Qur'an. तुम में सबसे बेहतरीन बंदा वो है जो कुरान को सीखता है और कुरान को सिखाता है. ये हुजूर की हदीस पाक है. हज़रत मुसअब, when he reaches to Madinatul Munawwara, within a year, he has spread the message of Qur'an in such manner that 75 people, they accepted Islam at the time when nobody wanted to listen to Rasulullah ﷺ's message. एक साल की मेहनत हज़रत मुसअब ने 75 लोगों को मुसलमान किया. Then he was martyred in Jang-e Uhud, and because he was in look-wise resembling to Rasulullah ﷺ so much that when he was martyred, Kuffar of Makkah, they propagated that Muhammad, peace be upon him, ma'azallah, has been killed. Although he was Hazrat Mus'ab ibn Umair. When the time came to bury him, when it was time to place him in the grave, because the ruling is a martyr who is being killed in the battlefield, whatever he is wearing, shouldn't remove it. You don't need to give him kafan. You place him in the grave with the clothes, cover his body and put him in the grave. Now imagine an individual who used to live the life in so much luxury. His last moment, when he was placed in the grave, he had only one sheet on his body. One sheet on his body. Pick up the ahadith and read about his final moments when he was placed in the grave. Sahabe kiram, they say that if we would try to cover his feet, his head would open. And if we would try to cover his head, his feet would open. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, cover his head and put the grass on his feet. What was his connection though? Connection with Qur'an lasted until his final moments. In today's day and age, yes, I am not against any, when people protest, if the Qur'an Pak is being burnt, people protest. You receive so many forwards on WhatsApp. You receive so many, messages on WhatsApp. What should we do? How should we do? We should do this, we should do that. But if we check ourselves individually, if we check ourselves on our own and see what is our connection with the Holy Quran, how strong it is. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he stated, Zayyinul Qur'ana bi aswatikum. Yes, adorn your voices with the Holy Quran, or read the Holy Quran with your beautiful voice. How many of us, we are okay to sing and listen to the songs and music in today's day and age? How many of our youth we hear that when they pass by, sometimes you have to look down listening to the kind of music they are blasting in their cars? That's the way we are now. And yet we are okay to protest against somebody who is burning the Quran, and we are not checking ourselves and our connection with the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. The izzat, the respect, and this high ranking is for you. He's addressing you and I, but he puts the condition. وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. If you become a mu'min, if you become a believer, all of this is for you. The izzat will be for you. You understand? So, my point is not that do not protest. The point I'm trying to make is check ourselves individually. How many times a week you read the Holy Quran? How many times a week you try and actually open the Holy Quran to understand it? How many durus-e Quran do you attend in your local masajid? How many durus-e ahadith you attend in your local masajid? How many times you actually thought, okay, this is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was revealed upon Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Do I know the meaning of Surah Fatiha? Do I know the meaning of Alam Tara Kaifa, Surah Fil, that I read every day in namaz? If we don't, then what kind of connection do you have with the Holy Quran, with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Remember, Allah does not need you. Quran does not need you. You are in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you are in need of the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you make your connection stronger, then you will see what happened in Badr. 313. They were enough. They were enough to defeat those who were in front of them, over 1,000 people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He revealed in the Holy Quran, Alif Lam Mim Ghulibatir Rum. The Rum has been conquered. Now this conquest didn't happen in the time of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. This conquest didn't happen in the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Later on, the conquest happened, and Quran said it when? Years before. Over a century before that, the Rome was conquered. So Quran has that power. Are we the people of Quran? Are we the Muslims who look after this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that was revealed upon Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam? Or are we just those typical ones that once a year we open the Quran and that's it? Ramzan comes, we'll complete one Quran and that's sufficient for the whole year. No. Rasul Akram alayhi salatu wasalam, a hadith of Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, I'll mention Sayyidina Ali karamallahu ta'ala wajhul kareem. One day Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he mentioned that there will be fitnas, there will be tribulations. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, Ya Rasulullah, if there are tribulations, what should we do then? Where do we go to? Now, Prophet ﷺ said, there is only one way, and that is the way of the Holy Qur'an. Hold on to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فيه خبر ما قبلكم ونبأ ما بعدكم وهو جبل الله المتين وهو حبل الله المتين. Quran has the news of ma qablakum, what was before you, وَنَبَأُ مَا بَعْدَكُمْ, and the news of unseen, that what will happen after you. As I mentioned, one example, the conquest of Rome. وَهُوَ حَبْلُ اللَّهِ الْمَتِينَ, and this is the pure and strong rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, people might get confused if that's what Prophet ﷺ said, hold on to Quran, why do we need hadith? So don't get confused. Rasulullah ﷺ stated, بعثت المعلم أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بعثت معلما. I was sent as a muallim, I was sent as a teacher. That means everything that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, we need to take it from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the form of hadith pak. So Quran and hadith is something that we take from. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he showed the path to Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that it is the path of Quran. If you take it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save you. What we need to do today, we need to spread the message of Quran. The reason why many people they talk ill about the Holy Quran, because they have not understood the Holy Quran. We have to make them understand. They haven't learned and read the Holy Quran. We need to spread the message of Quran. If we ourselves are disconnected with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can't even open and read the Holy Quran, then how can we spread the message of Quran to other people? If we do not even understand the meaning of Surah Fatiha, that we read maybe 15, 20 times a day, or in every single rakat of our 5 times daily prayers, then what do we expect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He will help you when you become the mu'min that He has mentioned. وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He protected Holy Quran and He has preserved Holy Quran fi lawhin mahfuz. लौहे महफूज में कुरान अल्लाह ने महफूज किया हुआ है. हज़ारों और लाखों हुफ़ाज़ के सीने में अल्लाह ने कुरान को महफूज किया हुआ है. किसी के जलाने से कुरान के ऊपर कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है. वो हमारी फीलिंग्स से खेल सकता है, अल्लाह की किताब से वो कभी भी नहीं खेल सकता. बिकॉज़ हमारा अक़ीदा ये है कि अल्लाह तबारक व तआला ने अपनी किताब को महफूज किया हुआ है. ज़रूरत इस बात की है कि हम कुरान पाक से अपने राब्ते को, अपने ताल्लुक़ को मजबूत करें, कुरान पाक को पढ़ें, कुरान पाक को समझें. जहाँ जहाँ कुरान पाक के दुरूस होते हैं उन जगहों पर जाकर हम उसको सुने और उसकी तालीम से अपने आप को आरास्ता करें. अल्लाह ताला मुझे और आप सबको हक़ पर रहने की तौफ़ीक़ अता फ़रमाए. इसी पर मौला करीम हमें ख़ातिमा बिल खैर अता फ़रमाए. व मा अलैना इल्लल बलाग़. अस्सलामु अलैकुम.